It's not surprising to find a cultic place at this spot. More surprising is to find that this cult place was later replaced by a church.
We're on our way to meet Adi Erlich, who's a very well-known archaeologist. She is uncovered in Banias, which is way up north in Israel. An incredibly exciting discovery. This is one of the earliest churches ever found in the state of Israel, and it dates back all the way to the 4th century. So Adi, where are we? Why are we here today?
We're at Banias, or the way it was called in the ancient sources, Banias or Panion, which is an ancient Roman site and a cultic place to the god Pan. That's why it is called Banias. And recently I had the honor and the pleasure to excavate here and to find a new discovery.
This is the regular site. I've been here many times before. Is it inside the same site?
Yes, it's just here up the hill on the terrace, which we will get there soon.
So you were telling me that up to just a few months ago, or a year ago or so, all of this was covered up.
Most of it was covered up. Some of it was already excavated. For example, this beautiful niche wall, which you can see over here. So this was excavated some 20 years ago, but the rest was covered.
But everything we're seeing here was underground.
It was underground. People were walking above it without knowing.
What are we in? What is this place?
This place is actually an open courtyard for the god Pan. It's not surprising to find a cultic place at this spot. More surprising is to find that this cult place was later replaced by a church. And this was really a big surprise, a very big surprise.
You're standing in what was a doorway, basically?
Exactly, this is
so
a doorway.
Someone was crossing from one side into the other side.
Yeah. If you pass through this doorway, there was this slab of stone with lines of crosses, which testify for pilgrims coming over.
The whole thing is covered in it.
The whole thing. If we would have found here just a church, so this could have been another community church for the people of Caesarea Philippi back then.
But you're saying the evidence shows it wasn't a community church.
No.
It was a place of pilgrimage.
Yeah.
This is the site where, according to the New Testament, Jesus stands with Simon Peter and says, basically gives him the keys to the kingdom, to heaven, and the gates of hell, which is also the name of this place, won't be able to stop you.
Yeah.
When you dug here under a year ago, the evidence sort of speaks of this being a very feasible event.
Very tangible, yeah. If we look at the evidence, the best option is that this place commemorated the meeting of Jesus and Peter, because the many rocks that are over here, you are my rock, and Petrus, of course, is a rock. The place was oriented to the north, and churches are normally oriented to the east. So what they have done, they made part of it, the part that is close to the cave, as a small chapel. And we have this slab of stone full of small crosses which testify to pilgrims coming over here and marking these crosses on this stone. All these pieces of evidence, they lead us to think that it's not just a normal, ordinary church that you come and pray, but it was more for pilgrims.
Jesus says, you are the rock. You describe this as, here's the rock, and on you I will build my church, ecclesia.
Yeah.
You've opened up a place that is in the heart of a very important site to Christian pilgrims. They get to see this. Israel's soil is filled with memories of the past for those who have the eyes to see. This can come in the form of bulot that bear the names of specific biblical characters, or ancient stones that bring these characters to life. But the most immersive experience comes when archaeologists uncover locations and structures that remind us that we are a part of a greater story. Every place you look, there's history that goes thousands of years back. And I think for families in Israel, and almost every park that they visit that's managed by you and your colleagues, they connect with history. And they connect with the narrative of the Jewish people, they connect with the narrative of the land, and the depth of history that this place carries.
Archaeology is sometimes like a forensic lab. You collect the evidence, the whole world stops for a while, and then you find yourself going back in time.
It's just beautiful how it all connects, and all it took was you unearthing something in the ground and finding it. It's a wonderful thing to be part of.
Thank you for joining us as we provide a spiritual insight of what God is doing in Israel and in the Middle East. If you want to learn more about what God is doing in Israel, make sure to visit us on our webpage and follow us on social media. Shalom, and God bless you from Jerusalem.